freedom call.
Welcome everybody to episode 2 of MMA Half Hour. It's still called that. I still like it, but if you guys have ideas, let me know. This is really the post of UFC 199 event, which I really enjoyed. We got to see it yesterday.
It was really
we
awesome.
didn't actually think we were going to, and it kind of happened, which was great because it was a very good event. Very good event. I'm wearing my Faber Aldo. So fun fact, it was April 24th, 2010. This is my lovely, I didn't even introduce you. I'm Raul.
Hello.
This is my lovely wife, Andrea. So April 24th of 2010, it was WEC 48. And we went to go see
I do remember
Faber,
that.
unfortunately, lose against Aldo.
I truly remember that just because we ran into Nate Diaz, which was really
Yes.
awesome in that time. So he
Yes.
wasn't really that big, but obviously, you know, very cool guy.
Yeah, we
Very
knew
cool guy.
Nick.
So, yes.
We knew Nick, and he was already big, and Nate was coming
Nate,
up.
definitely.
They obviously always represented 209, which we were familiar with, and
So it was
that
really
picture was
awesome.
pretty sweet.
Just to
We're at the update our photos, because that was a long time ago, 2010. But either way, we got some notes here. We're going to talk about some things. Let's go through it.
So first off, you know, one thing was, what did you think about the commercials this event?
Yeah, this event was a little different. I was
It was.
pleasantly surprised to see the. So this is what's funny. I don't know if you noticed. There was a friend of ours there. His name was Lloyd, and we were just chatting. And I was kind of the guy that was updating him. He follows the sport, but I was updating him on what's going on and whatever. And I just told him, as of right now, it's not official. And if you guys follow it at all, or I'll update you right now. Last week, Dana White was basically even saying it's not done yet. You know, Nate wants more money or whatever the case, and it's not official. And to see it go down at UFC 199, there was a commercial, and boom, there's Dana White with Nate with his shirt that says "Represent,"
Yes!
and it was like, oh, it is official.
It's official.
It's happening when?
It's huge. I mean, it's going to be happening for UFC 202.
Yep.
And we
August 20th.
weren't sure about the weight class.
Yes.
You know, but yes,
We found
come to
out.
find out it is 170s, which, you know, I don't know. But okay, I mean, I want to see them fight again, so it's all good. I mean,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
I mean, we just want to see it. I mean, the 170 thing, that's the only thing that bugs me. Because
Yeah.
Connor is getting whatever the heck he wants, is basically what it is. He wants
Right.
it exactly the same, so that he can try to prove himself this
But
time.
with it being official, obviously we got to see that, you know, Nate got to work out whatever he wanted to work out with Dana White, so that was...
Hey, the fight's on,
It's
so...
on. That's good. It's awesome.
You know,
so
170 is a little weird still. It bugs me a bit, but hey,
it is.
it's going
I'm
on
excited.
August 20th.
It
That's
is.
going to be a good one. But what was the other commercial?
Oh my gosh. Yes. Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is coming back.
He's coming
He's
back.
coming back, which is awesome. I've always been a fan of Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
He's funny. He just cracks me. He's a character. He's a character, all right. So, who will he fight? I mean,
That's kind of the big question.
That's the big question right there.
So for those that didn't see the event, they said to be determined. But here's the big thing. So that was just a trick up UFC's sleeve.
Right.
Because they even questioned, I actually found out that they questioned Brock earlier that day or whatever, and he denied it. He turned really red too, so you know he was... But hey, come on. He wanted to surprise everybody, which I was pleasantly surprised. I was like,
Definitely.
Brock coming back, and it's I believe the second fight.
This supposed to be UFC 200?
200.
200. All right.
So he was the main reason that UFC 100 did very well. He was one of the stars at that time. So what a trick on, you know, that they just pulled
Definitely.
out. I'm very happy about it personally because I wouldn't mind it. But just to give you all the details, I think it's only going to be one fight. I don't think it's like a run for the title.
That's fine. It's just nice just to see him back again.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean, he's a
it's
specimen
been
of
out for a while.
a beast. He's a
He
freaking
is.
like.
He truly
There's
is.
nobody his size. I mean, because of his size and all of that, and he's got some guts. You know, he's definitely a good fighter. I got respect for him, and I'm happy to see it. So one of the main question is, who's he gonna fight?
Who's he gonna fight? Who would you guys like to see him fight? Would be
Yeah.
another big thing. I mean, so comment below.
I'm curious.
on
What do you guys like?
who
What do
you guys would want
what
to
would
see
be
him
it?
fight?
here's my couple guesses that I wouldn't mind. There's a lot of people like Fabricio Verdum. There's all these guys like Kane, Overeem, who last beat him, Junior Dos Santos, Andrei Arlovski. Like all of these guys, I don't think it's gonna be them. These guys are trying to get to the title. Fighting Brock doesn't necessarily mean anything. It's just kind of like, I don't want to call it a freak show, but it's one of those fights that you're just tuning in to watch, not because the winner is gonna get a title fight or anything like that.
But we will tune in to watch.
Yeah, but I will say this, I know, right? Not like we weren't already. Josh Barnett is one guy I think it just makes sense. That's just a good fight. But he got beat up pretty quickly last time, so then again, you need somebody big. Roy Nelson, he's already got a fight coming up. Here's the one that I think maybe it should be. Frank Mir.
Okay. I am a fan of Frank Mir,
Don't you want to see that?
I would love to. But that would be a hard one to figure out who I would really go for.
Yeah.
I like them both.
Well, that's always good.
I've always really wanted to see Frank Mir handle. And I don't know if correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't he lose his last
Yeah. So he's not in the best of shape. Like, I don't even think he would have the best chance of winning, unfortunately. But I will say this. The first time that Brock and Frank Mir fought, Frank Mir got pretty beat up, but then he got him with the leg lock and submitted him.
Yes.
And then there was a rematch, and then Brock gave it to him.
Right.
So technically it'd be a trilogy, right? It'd be a trilogy.
So I would totally see that.
There's a story behind it. There's got to be a story.
Yeah,
so I think that
definitely.
wouldn't be too bad, especially if it's just a one-off fight. People just want to see Brock Lesnar in there fight somebody. Who's that somebody? So
I'd be happy with whoever won that fight.
yeah. So what do you guys think? I'm curious what you guys think.
Definitely.
Maybe there's something I'm not thinking of, or and whatever. But please put that in the comments below.
That'd be awesome.
What else we got?
So one thing, I guess let's just get straight to it and
To the event?
To the event itself and Max Holloway.
Yes. I'm not too surprised.
No, not at all. Not at all. It was an amazing fight overall.
He looked really good.
What's that? 9 wins in a row now. So
yeah. So that was his 9th win in a row, and his big thing is, when do you get a title fight? Now, I'm going to answer that in a way that I think it's one of those things that division is just stacked. So Aldo, obviously McGregor stories going on, Frankie Edgar. So there's a lot of like those fighters up there to where he's just not that biggest name, but he mentioned UFC Hawaii, and I don't know, that just sounded like a really good idea.
Why not?
If they've never been to Hawaii, UFC Hawaii, like I could see the embedded and I can see all the stuff that they come up for that. BJ Penn is in the mix.
I'm sure they have a huge fan base. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why not?
I think it would just be cool. It would be awesome. It works. But I'll just say this. Max Holloway, I've said it before, he went 3 rounds with Conor McGregor. I mean, he didn't like win those rounds or whatever, but he's only gotten better.
Yes.
And he's just a good fighter. So I just kind of, I think they just need to squeeze it in there somehow. But it's just a stacked division, so we'll just have to see what happens with him.
It was really exciting.
But he looked good.
So definitely.
He looked really good. Better than even before.
I would say so. Wow. So the next thing, Dan Henderson. I mean,
holy moly!
I was so excited about that win. You have no idea. Always been a big fan of Dan Henderson, and just to see him come back, maybe it might be his last fight. Who knows?
Maybe.
He didn't want to make it official or make a decision on that.
It didn't even look like he wanted to necessarily, but was okay with it.
That fight, though.
That fight.
Those elbows?
I think I was silenced with the whole Bisping thing. We'll get to that. I was just like silenced. But with Dan Henderson, everybody got up and yelled.
The excitement behind
that. Yeah, and the way the first round went down, what was crazy was Dan Henderson's last fights kind of ended that way. So big ups to Herb Dean for letting it go. He was still there. He was in trouble for sure. But once it got into the second, I kind of was like, you know what? Who knows? He might do it.
Right.
And the way that he did it, and that's behind the elbow, and then he threw himself up again and threw another one. He gave it his all.
He did. 45-year-old man, and he's straight up handled. I mean, that's awesome.
That was just crazy. and I'll be the first one to say I really didn't think he was gonna win. You know, those last fights just didn't look good.
I don't like to admit it, but I thought that myself. I mean,
we just
it's
thought he was
happened
kind
in
of
the
done.
past. Yeah, exactly.
I was more surprised that he was even there. Like he gave it. They gave him another fight.
Oh my gosh! But he did great. Like he was. He did
was
really
there.
well.
I mean, he's got the IQ. It's kind of like he might not be flashy or you know, be the most exciting to watch, but when he gets that hit, I mean, he's good. But this is the main thing to know about that. That was his last fight of his contract. So I think he'd be willing to fight again. But it just depends if they offer him another contract. Are they going to give him another fight? Do they say, you know what, it ended here, so hey, you got to win at the end. Let's just call it a night.
I would say so. I mean, why not? I know he didn't want to make any decisions on that, but why not? He did mention about having the family, being around the kids,
yeah, he's got to get the paycheck. And stuff, so I mean, Ryan, he wants the family time.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll see.
I would say so. We will see, but I mean,
I think
whichever way he goes, I mean, I would be satisfied. Dan Henderson fan with his retirement.
Yeah, that was ultimately a cherry on top.
Absolutely.
So if that was his last fight, big ups to you. You deserve it, and fantastic job. That was crazy. Henderson. That was crazy. Probably one of the biggest highlights of the night, because Dan Henderson with an amazing finish. That was great.
It was amazing.
Yeah, I love that one.
So the next one definitely would be the Urijah Faber and Dominick Cruz fight. You know, I mean, what happened? I mean, they had me engaged definitely in the first round. The first round was really crazy. I was excited. Yeah. You know, I mean, Dominick Cruz, yes, he's a good fighter. He is. I have nothing against him at all. I've always been a Urijah Faber fan, obviously. You know, but I mean, yeah, Team Alpha Male. I mean,
he's the man.
I thought maybe, you know, he was in his groove in the first round.
He looked amazing too.
He did.
Like his body and just like fit wise and his attitude, it just seemed like he was 100% ready to win it and give it his all.
I think just like that second round after he just got rocked a bit. I mean, he unfortunately to me did the usual Urijah and just kind of backed off and just kind of lost sight a little bit of it, you know.
You hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah.
I mean, he got rocked because the first round, it was just pure, you know, going forward. And I said, if he can go forward and just push and try to take him down, but he got stuffed, which probably, you know, kind of got him a little frustrated. He got rocked. That always is frustrating because you don't want to get rocked again. You know, if he's gonna lose, he doesn't want to get knocked out. So I think that's why he
playing it safe. I guess you would say he's just playing it safe.
But it's like five rounds, and you maybe won the first one. I mean, Dominick Cruz, big ups to him. He's just that freaking good.
He is. It was good. I'm no matter what. I mean, Urijah, I love you. I'm still a fan.
Yeah.
Still a fan.
I wore the shirt just for you.
Yes.
But yeah, he was one of those guys at this point where I think he said it the best at the press conference. He got outclassed, and he was the most prepared, and I believe him. He was the most prepared he's probably ever been, and he didn't get to do it. So I think there might be more fights for him, but
I would say so. But just to get it right too, like I don't think Urijah was the only one kind of playing it safe. I seen it in Dominick Cruz too. So
right, because he didn't want to get caught either.
Right, exactly.
I think that's what happens with the rivalries sometimes.
I would say so. Just the the drama behind it and stuff.
You don't want to get knocked out by the guy that you dislike the most.
Or you guys are talking shit about each other. And
that was a good build-up, too. I mean, Urijah was even uncharacteristic.
Surprised. Right. I was very surprised, about it. But maybe she was just at that point where I can't fucking take this shit anymore, motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that belt. And
exactly.
With the rivalry being there. I mean, I think it was ready. But once the fight happened where he got rocked and got stuffed, that's where the rest of the rounds, it was kind of like the old Faber where he just picks his shots, waits for opportunities. But Dominick Cruz is not a guy that's going to give you opportunities. He's just very, very smart. Even at the post press conference, he kind of analyzed the fight, and it went down exactly like he did.
But we will get to that. We'll save that press conference for the end.
Yes.
So I mean,
but, hey, big up to.
I mean, what's next for Faber? We don't know that.
I don't know.
I think
him and TJ Dillashaw, that might be a good fight just because of the story.
That would be a huge one. Definitely a moneymaker there, I would say.
Yeah, because other than that, for me personally, if you're not climbing up the ranks to get a belt, then for me it's hard to kind of keep engaged. So I think with TJ, that's just a good fight. That's a good story. Let's see who is better. I'm curious too. Right. It's a different fight. Dominick Cruz is a different fighter. Mm-hmm. So TJ and Faber, hey, I think that would be a good one for them to put together.
That would be. So, well,
this is the main event.
Main event.
Go for it.
I don't want to start blushing right now. Oh, do you know
Go
which
ahead.
one I'm going to blush for?
No.
Or is it both?
That's both.
It's both.
But,
it's both, all right.
But tell them your feelings.
I'm just kidding. Okay. I mean, I was excited that Bisping was going to take the fight. I've always been a Bisping fan. Yes, he is a shit talker. He really is.
Yeah.
But in a way,
he's a fighter.
He can back it up.
He's a fighter. You know, fighters aren't necessarily always going to be.
Speaking of backing it up like a dump truck, I mean, Luke Rockhold.
Oh my gosh. The beautiful specimen that he is.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Cocky. And I think that's that's going to be the ongoing story with this.
In a different way, I mean.
Well, people are already calling him out about that's why you lost, because you were too cocky.
Well, everybody gets cocky, and I mean it happens all the time. It's not the first.
Yeah, and when you submit somebody with one arm, I mean, I think he really was like, I beat Weidman, I'm the champ, I already beat you, so I'm just gonna get in here and beat you again. And I think he kind of said it at the end. He was in the press conference. Right. He was saying that he didn't even think or believe that he was gonna get knocked out by Bisping. It's like, this guy doesn't knock out anybody. So in the fight, you could just kind of tell he was. His comfortable self.
Comfortable, right?
Not quick. Well, he wasn't being. What's the word? Careful. He should have been careful. Yes, because just with Bisping itself, like Bisping went in there. Like obviously this is a title fight. He's gonna go in there and he's gonna go all out. That's just how he is. Right.
You know what I mean? It was a big shocker. Absolutely.
He shut my mouth.
I would have been happy either way. I would have loved to have seen more, definitely,
Yeah.
But I mean that's just how it played out. Bisping had it. I'm happy with that, but I mean, the big question is, should there be a quick rematch? I know Bisping had mentioned in the press conference that he wanted to do a couple more fights before, right?
Right. I don't think he wants to give it to him. That's what it is.
I don't think so either. But I mean, if you figure, the whole Conor and Nate Diaz thing, I mean, why not? I wouldn't mind seeing a quick rematch with them. I think Luke Rockhold. I love Michael Bisping, but I know Luke Rockhold can last.
Beat him.
He can beat him. He can do more.
Right.
Like it's
one of those.
It's just one of those
situations that's for me. It was like, I personally feel the same that Rockhold felt. He basically felt like, you know what, I was too relaxed in there. He overcommitted. I really believe that. Like
absolutely.
In watching it, I was like, dude, you're being way too. Easy in there. Like, you need to put the pressure on him, especially with Bisping. Bisping's all about pressure, so you have to neutralize that. And he was just kind of going there. And I've noticed this little thing about Rockhold, which I saw in this fight too, and I've seen in other fights. Like, he'll get hit, and he'll kind of be like, okay, like, oh, okay, you got me there.
Didn't notice that. Right. I saw that.
Well, when I was watching it, I was kind of like, dude, yeah, he's hitting you. Yeah, you're recognizing this, but make your adjustments, or you gotta kick it up a notch. And I just felt he was still so relaxed, and Bisping called it a lot. And I even said, like, dude, he has his arms low, but he always has this kind of, Rockhold has this kind of far lean stance, no matter what. But that wasn't enough. He does keep his right hand down, and Bisping came right over the top, and I don't think he could have recovered from the left hook. Other than that, obviously every other hit put him out, but it was that one left hook. he couldn't recover. Bisping jumped on him.
He did.
And it was a good stoppage, the whole 9. But I just think, like, honestly, if you were to put it back, just like Aldo and McGregor, it was one punch. There wasn't even a contest, really, right? Anyone could get that one punch. So it's just one of those things that I do feel that if they do it again, Rockhold will be a lot safer.
Definitely.
And he probably will run right through him.
Definitely.
Not against anything on Bisping. I think Bisping is a newer and better fighter. I don't see Rockhold losing if he was really focused.
Right. I mean, and then I just kind of go back with Rockhold and Weidman, you know what I mean? And like, I know what Rockhold can do.
And you're a Weidman fan too.
I am a Weidman fan. I know. He's gorgeous too.
I know it's that division. That's where all the beautiful specimens exist.
Luke Rockhold, the baby got back. He got that junk in that trunk.
Yeah, but he got put on that. That was on the floor on this one.
I wish I was there just so I can,
Like, oh, sorry, I got you. I got you.
I can guide you down. No worries.
DC wasn't even. DC looked so sad too. But I'll say this.
Yes.
Hopefully, DC sees that as don't be that.
Right.
I mean, I don't think it was going to be that, but I'm just saying, I'm really going for DC with the John Jones thing. We'll talk about that in some other episode. But hopefully that gives him some motivation. Like, AK's losing their belts. And that's not cool.
You get it back.
Yeah. I think Rockhold will get it back.
Yes.
But I know one of the things we were wondering as far as that is, so rematch or not, I really don't know as of right now if that'll go down. But I'll say this, though. With Rockhold Bisping, the trilogy, I think it would work. There's going to be sales of tickets. Obviously, they're trash back and forth.
Definitely.
There's the other fight. Jacare and Weidman are like in the back burner. So for those guys to fight for the championship does make sense. Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting. I don't know what they're going to decide. The one thing I always keep in mind, and one thing I've learned in the past few years, is that UFC is a promotion. They're a business. And unfortunately, just kind of like the whole Max Holloway thing, it doesn't, just because they're great fighters, if they're not popular enough,
if they make the money.
Yeah, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to get a title fight or that type of thing. It's usually what's the bigger event, what's going to sell more pay-per-views.
Right.
And in this case, they got a couple good guys, so we'll kind of see what direction they go. But
we'd love to know your guys' thoughts as well. I mean,
what do you guys think? What do you guys want to see?
Quick rematch? Yeah, I mean, I would.
I wouldn't mind it, only because I think Rockhold will just take it and then we can continue on. This is kind of like a break in between, but who knows? If Bisping can do it again and goes on some run,
then it is what it is.
Then hey, you're the man. But I'm a sucker for trilogies. 2 out of 3. You gotta give that third one and see what happens. We'll see.
I think it should happen.
What else we got?
So let's see here. I mean. That's
pretty much all the main fights and everything.
Overall, I think it was truly a great event.
I think we're basically trying to close this with this. We loved the event. It was fantastic. We had a lot of fun, obviously, with all of this going on. I was super excited to do this episode. I was like, we got to do it. I want to do it as soon as possible. This is fun.
Yes.
And like I said, I do this show for fun. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and let's hear your comments, all that good stuff.
Everyone has their opinions and everything like that. It is what it is. All fighters, mad respect to everybody, just in that sport itself. You know what I mean? Nothing against anybody at all. Everyone has their favorites. Everyone has their own opinions, so be it.
Yeah, and we just want to hear them, because I sometimes I hear certain things that people brought up or bring up, or certain fighters, and that I didn't even think about, and it's all part of the conversation. If we're fans, we're all one family at the end of the day. Exactly. But we're gonna end this with, which I'm gonna just kind of say it. It was the best post press conference I have ever seen. If you haven't seen it, don't even do the highlights. Don't do the highlights. Watch the whole press conference, and you will definitely enjoy it.
It was.
So. What were some of your? There was a lot that happened, but what was your overall favorite moments of the press conference that made you like it?
I think there's just a lot of comedy. I think it's just kind of like what, some things and everyone's putting. It's like you got to know everybody a little bit more on a personal level. Everybody's you don't know what I've been through.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
There was a lot. It was nice to learn all this stuff, but I think it became a topic. Everybody was kind of explaining on. you don't know what I've been through to get here and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Michael Bisping's whole story as well,
Which was kinda cool.
It was It was definitely interesting
Yeah.
overall. I would say the beefing. I mean,
Oh my God, the Rockhold and Bisping, continuation.
It was funny. I was surprised that Bisping wanted to be humble and, you know, be
tried
my
his
humble
best.
self. He did try his best.
He did well.
He did
For
well.
Michael Bisping, he did
Until
pretty
at
well.
the end. Remember towards the end when he was just, maybe, I don't know if he was drinking beer or what,
Yeah,
you know,
that
but he was
had
just
to be
kind of
beers.
pounding, and afterwards the usual Michael Bisping came out, which we all know how he
It kind of went in waves. He came out.
It did.
I don't want to say I told you so.
Yeah,
And like he came off that way, and I think he kind of checked himself and then humbled himself and all
But
of
then
that.
the more, you
But
know.
Rockhold wasn't making it easier too. He was.
No,
he
wasn't. Well,
kind
he was
of,
calling him out. He was calling Michael Bisping out.
Let's fight in 2 weeks.
It is who he is. Like, he probably couldn't believe it himself on why Michael Bisping's being all humble and everything. So he was just calling him out. Like, we all know who you are. Do you know who you are? You are Michael Bisping, and you're being all,
Nice guy.
nice guy. Until the end, when he started coming out and being Michael Bisping his usual self.
It was comedy.
It was comedy.
In a nutshell,
truly
the way
was.
I felt, which don't take me the wrong way, I'm just trying to get out an analogy. Back in the day, I used to be into WWF. I'll call it WWF because back then. And, you know, it's all an entertainment show type of thing. And I'm not too big of, like, people should talk crap about each other. But if you do because you dislike each other, okay, whatever.
Right.
But it just felt entertaining. Like, those two going at it, Faber and Cruz.
Yes,
Cruz
that was
is calling
another one.
Faber out for making money off of his fighters. And there goes Faber still promoting them.
Yes, everyone's
which I
kind of
just
going
felt
back
was
and
interesting.
forth. Well, I got so and so and so, and so. Well, I got so and so and so and so. You know, and
Yeah.
they're just kind of going back and forth. But I don't get money for them. I don't get a percentage, and it's just
Yeah.
kind of like, whoa, all right, dude.
Here's
You know?
a little thing, and you know, you guys let me know. Dominick Cruz, of course, I'm not going to say he's scared of anybody, but he downplayed Cody, who just had a main event and in spectacular fashion.
Right.
You know who the guy is. Don't
act like
say
you
that
don't know who he
yeah,
is.
who's that? He's one of the new kids on the block. That was the
Right.
one thing I was
I
kind
just
of
thought he
like.
was a new kid on the block. I just thought he was a new kid on the block.
I was like, are you just? I don't want to say afraid, but is it? Do you just not want to fight him quite yet? Because he's coming up. But there are other fighters. I'll say that. But again, it's all about names, and Cody is becoming a name. Right. So putting him versus Dominick Cruz, especially coming from Faber's camp, it's kind of like, all right, Faber didn't do it, but here's his best protege, and you know the story continues. So I enjoyed that.
That was pretty funny. Them going back and forth. I mean, it's just kind of like everybody.
It was
just
entertainment.
And then you see Dan Henderson just kind of sitting back, like, all right, like, okay.
I was joking. I was like, maybe I should just retire.
All
like,
right,
this is weird.
Yeah, this is getting a little weird now. All right.
Yeah.
Everybody's beating little bitches around here.
Yeah, like what's all this? Man, it was pretty funny. So you guys should definitely watch it. We just enjoyed it. We were just glued to it. I was like, this is the
Can't believe what was
best
going on.
press conference I've ever seen. And I think the Bisping Rockhold thing just felt so real.
It was just natural. I mean, it's just.
But it was just because of the shocking and because of who Bisping is and because of who Rockhold is, it just created this perfect storm of comedy and
Rockhold
entertainment.
did admit it, you know.
Yeah, you got caught. You got caught.
You know, very relaxed, and he did throw out there too that, you know, he can handle Bisping, which, and the whole time he was explaining that, I'm like, I know, yes.
Yeah.
Coming to the TV.
I was like, no, I get
know,
it,
yes.
But you got knocked out.
You know, right, and that's, you sound like Michael Bisping now.
Yeah. I know, and I could agree.
Out, you know?
With Bisping, I like the best thing he said was like, I'm a now guy, which is true. It's like, as of right now, you just got knocked out, so you have no room to say anything.
Well, technically that's considered the past now.
I know, huh?
Okay,
so we can start talking
now.
about it now.
Now.
So, but that's episode 2. Episode 2, we're getting up there.
I'm excited. I'm happy I was here.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It's exciting.
I mean, your brother Nas, my brother-in-law, he's a big fan, so I can't wait. One of these days, he'll probably want to do it. But I do it for fun. I'm doing this all the time, so it's kind of like as I'm researching, if I can spread it out there and meet some people and get some comments going with all you guys, that's really my satisfaction. But that's episode 2, guys. Thank you guys for watching. We'll look forward to your comments and all that good stuff, and see you guys on the next time. Peace.
Bye.